Freddy will have just 1 week to help the Morills transform their hobby mine into a money-making business.
If anybody can help us recover this gold and get it clean, it's Freddy. And if anybody can help us build that, it's Juan.
Why don't we run 4 hours and do a cleanup?
Okay.
That'll let me kind of look around here,
Right.
see what we get, and go from there.
Okay.
The Morills wash plant is an adapted hopper and conveyor that runs graded pay dirt to a 20-foot wooden sluice box.
Let's go do a test. I'm seeing some small pieces that should be going down the sluice box, but they're not. They're going off with the coarse tailings. See what's not going down your sluice box? It should be. Let's see what we got.
There should be no gold in the coarse tailings that are discarded before the sluice box. If there is, Freddy has found his first fix.
15, 16, 17, 17 colors.
That's unacceptable.
So you're losing 17 colors every 30 seconds, probably over 20.
Some of the stuff down here you can't even see until it all gets together. That's how fine it is.
Yeah, my goal's the same. They're losing about 40 plus colors a minute that aren't going down their sluice box, it's just going out in their tailings.
That much gold in the coarse tailings could be costing the Morills up to $500 per day.
Greg and Trevor seem like a great bunch of guys, just they don't have the most infrastructure in place as far as their plant goes.
Alrighty, she's about empty.
Well, that's 4 hours, so let's do a cleanup and see what we got.
Driver, go kill that pump down there. Right.
Every day, just running my ass off.
This lid flops and the water comes down into the trough.
Does it all go into the trough?
Yes.
Okay.
Greg designed his sluice to tilt to one side for a quick cleanup, with the V-mats made for hobby miners.
You don't spill any of it on the ground doing this?
Easier to clean, but Freddy suspects they're losing gold.
We always start at the bottom.
Yeah.
I try not to run too much pressure.
Hang on 1 second. Let's have a little test here. Get some little bit of scientific kind of data.
Gold found at the end of the sluice means it's also going off the end.
Hey, Trevor.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Here's your bottom 12 inches of your mat.
That could be the profit margin.
Yep, that's not good.
That's a lot.
You got to send some back to grow.
Yeah, put it back for seed, but this is too many seeds.
I was under the impression that this was catching more gold than the miner's moss and riffles from the hobby miners.
Yeah, but that's a hobby miner where you're shoveling a couple 100 pounds through a sluice an hour, or now you are a commercial operation. So a hobby miner, they're running 200 pounds an hour, and you're running 44,000 pounds an hour now, not 200.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference. We need to get rid of these V-mats.
I really thought that it would work commercially if I cleaned it up frequently.
Better to clean up more material and run this plant for 2 days without shutting it off. They were quite surprised on the amount of gold that came out of the end of the sluice box, out of the bottom, yay much. So if we can catch, a percentage of that, it's gonna help them tremendously. It's gonna be a lot of flipping work, more than I thought.
My dad was very adamant that we weren't losing that much gold off the end of it. And then Freddy gets here and he's like, no, look, you are. That much gold pays for a lot. That pays for bills, that pays for food, that's a house, that's education for my child.
Later that morning at the gold room, Greg demonstrates his cleanup process.
Where's our other screen, Trev?
Explain to me what you do now.
So I put this on top of this, and instead of one at a time, I just do all 3 at a time. This stuff, I mostly throw it away. Never have found anything here.
Yeah, so that's telling you something, right?
Wasting my time looking at it.
Yeah. Times what?
Times money.
Times money. Exactly right.
And then I would grab a gold pan and I put it down like this.
Yeah.
I just whack it good, rinse it out, and then dump that in a separate 5-gallon bucket.
And it's taken you a long time to do your cleanups, I bet.
You'd spend 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, that's not good.
A 4-hour run should only take a few hours to clean up. Greg's system takes them 4 days, leaving them only 1 day a week to mine.
Show me your table. Does it run?
Fire up that generator, would you, son? Plug in the electricity. Oh, Freddy, it plugs it to that extension cord right there.
To this? Where's your pump at?
Should be laying right here.
Oh, so it's a 12-volt pump? Why not run a 110 pump since you're running 110?
Yeah, I should. You need to figure out which one to get.
Well, they sell them at hardware stores.
Okay.
They got kind of a little bit of a mess going on here. 4 days to do a cleanup's unacceptable. Really unacceptable. They don't know how to clean up their own gold. Oh, we're running water on the floor.
If Freddy can't speed the Marill's cleanup from 4 days to a few hours, their dream of a viable commercial operation will die.
It would be life-changing for us if this worked out. You know, tell a 40-year-old man that he can finally hold a full-time job. That's huge. Huge. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, you want to get our pump ready?
Okay, I'll get that.
A man down and no time to waste, Freddy takes drastic action to speed up the Marill's cleanup to learn the result of their first test.
One of the things we need to do here is get these guys out of the hobby miner mentality. I'm going to save you hours right now. I'm going to shorten your process from a pain in the ass to kind of a pain in the ass. We'll try to get them more efficient in here. That gives them more time to catch the gold to bring in here. My goal in 1 day is to get you from taking 4 days to do a cleanup to 4 hours.
Wow.
And I hope I'm close to that.
Wow.
But
Unbelievable.
when that plant's not running, you ain't making a penny.
Right.
Table's on. You want the honors for the first scoop, Trevor?
Right, do it.
No use getting fancy. We'll find out what this table will do.
Due to the fine gold, Freddy runs the material through the shaker table, eliminating several time-consuming steps.
Right now, we're letting this generic little piece of screen door material do our screening for us while we're putting it in. We aren't pre-screening it before we're running.
The shaker table separates the different weighted material, dividing the heavier gold-carrying concentrate away from the waste.
We getting too much water here, or
No,
is that okay
no,
now?
don't even worry about it. Don't overthink. You're not hobby mining anymore. Don't overthink the little stuff. It'll bite you in the ass in the end if you do.
We were screening into like 6 different categories. Freddy screened into 2. Did a more efficient job. So we're doing a whole bunch of work that isn't needed if you know how to do it right to begin with. Hobby miners are much more meticulous in their cleanup because they want every last little piece.